Okay, we're recording. This is our contributor circle, and just wanted to, I was just saying that we have lots of new ladies coming on board, and so feel free to introduce yourselves to each other. We have kind of a unique experience here because we have our general community and we have our expert community. And what I'm finding is that our expert community is doing a lot of work together. And a lot of our clients are people we're connecting with and supporting happens to be in this community. So one of the things that we're going to be launching here is a Facebook group specifically for our experts. And in that group, you will find resources. So the recordings like this will all be there. All the trainings, like some of the trainings Danielle has done on SEO, the training on Pinterest. And as we go forward, we'll have other resources for you too. So you'll find that, some tips and tricks on writing. You'll find all the deadlines and how the whole system works. So we'll have all those PDFs in there. So that will be a place for all the experts to connect. And so that will be part of your membership, if you will. And we'll be adding to that as we go, and it'll transform too. So just wanted to let you each have just a second, just kind of introduce yourselves, because the other ladies will be watching this recording. And then in about 5 or so minutes, Deanna is just going to do a little talk with us on what she has been focusing on lately. So Danny, do you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. So I'm Danny Green. I'm operating out of Snohomish. The favorite part of my business is my hypnotherapy business. I've created the Soul Power Experience, but also I officiate weddings and funerals. We host and place exchange students, and I have an Airbnb in my home, so I like to be busy.
And did I hear Karen ask you, did you have students living with you?
Yes, we have one student from Turkmenistan, and her borders are closed, so she should have gone home in June, and she's still with us.
Wow. So how are your students doing? How's your one student doing with this whole pandemic? Is that hard on her?
She's just being super helpful and calm and just hanging out, watching movies, and is just doing great with it. So we really appreciate that. Yeah.
Good. Cool. Okay, Candy, you're up next.
I'm Candy Wright, and my company is called Candy Wright Coaching, and I specialize in helping women over 50-ish and up stop emotional eating, healing the reasons they overeat, and lose up to 50 pounds for the last time. And my purpose for what I do is not about the weight. It's really about helping women feel like their strong selves again, so that they can let their God-given talents out and their gifts out and really feel like their strong selves again, because there's a lot of noise in our heads about our weight, and that's just kind of the byproduct. So the reason I do what I do is honestly really because I love helping the ladies heal their relationships with themselves, their bodies, with food, with the scale, and therefore really heal all the yumminess if need be in any of their family relationships. That's my joy. So
yes. So Candy, I just loved I've had a few chances to chat with you and popped into one of your free seminars, and I have to say that one of the things that I really enjoy about you is your newsletters. And so if any of you have a chance to check out what Candy is doing, she's giving just gifts every newsletter that she has, and it's so much about that mindset. And so I am finding, I'm like, because you gave 3 tips one time, and I'm like, well, that's not just 3 tips for eating, that's like 3 tips for everything in your life. I was really amazed, and it was really helpful for me. So just really love that.
Thank you.
Yeah. And we have Kim coming from Suncadia.
Good morning, ladies. I am delighted to be here this morning and to hear a little bit more about each of you, because I see you on Facebook, and unfortunately I haven't been able to attend. But good morning, my name is Kim Peterson, and I am humbled and honored to be a speaker, trainer, and coach, really a coach for the whole you. I typically work with leaders and emerging leaders to them roots of authentic and impactful in their roles. So I do everything from the inside out. So from mindset to wardrobe, leadership, development, executive presence, and confidence building. And this is a great time to, even for me, to be walking through that again. So the Wi-Fi is spotty. I don't know if you heard any of that, but good morning.
Yes, good morning, Kim. It was a little spotty. I was going to ask you some questions, but it's kind of bouncing in and out there. So, but it's good to have you ladies here, and we're missing some of our new contributors and our contributors that have been with us for a while, but I know they're going to be able to see the recording, so we'll all come together. And so, Deanna, yeah, the floor is yours.
Fun. I've had a chance to meet and work with all of you. So what a joy it is to be here. I have felt so blessed to be a part of Fave, to be a contributor to Fave, to connect with other Fave experts, Fave ladies. It's just been an absolute joy. Teresa! Here you are, yay.
Hey, Teresa.
Do we want to go ahead and have Teresa introduce herself?
Yes, why don't we do that? Why, since she's popping in. Teresa, are you with us? Okay, she's connecting to audio. Hi, Teresa. Teresa? Okay, well, Teresa, are you there? Okay, well, Deanna, go ahead.
Okay.
We'll just move on.
I had a chance last night to have a socially distant happy hour with Karen when she was in town, and I tell her this frequently because I believe it's true. One of the things that I have most valued about Fave is the value she has placed on stories. Stories matter, and when you value stories, you value the storyteller, you value the experience, and out of that comes encouragement and empowerment and a lot of fun. Like, really, who knew Karen had how many lipsticks in the purse, Karen?
Oh, 7.
7.
And
okay.
that was I usually have more.
Okay, this is a woman who, yep, you know, I can do the eyeliner, lots of mascara, I can figure out where to get the blush. Don't ask me about lipstick. Haven't ever quite figured that part out. So 7 is a really big number to me, a really big number. So yeah, we have encouragement, we have empowerment, we have fun. But as we are acutely aware, we are not always surrounded by encouragement and empowerment in the greater community. We are in the middle of a pandemic that has shut us down in ways we never could have imagined, never expected. We're in the middle of important conversations about race and have been challenged in ways that we never could have expected, never imagined. And now we are in the middle of local, state, and national elections that have given us pause in so many ways. Rhetoric divides us, demeans us, deters us. And as you know, sound bites solve absolutely nothing, absolutely nothing. There are so many issues of our day that need bigger conversations. And the discussions are going to be very difficult. But you and I, as individuals and as part of the Fave community, we have opportunities that we can change the discourse. We're going to be able to change the dialogue. We get to be change makers as a community and as individual contributors in the community. Earlier this week, I don't know if you saw it, but Karen shared a blog post about change and how difficult change is. And I don't know about you, but I hate change. I do not like to be out of my comfort zone. I am right now working on book 3. And by the time I get words on the page, I love them. I'm attached to them. I think they're absolutely awesome. My editor, not so much. She strikes the sentence and I'm crushed. She asks me to redo the paragraph and I get frustrated. You know, she wants to take a look at the whole chapter one more time and I'm like, really? I need to be done. You name the emotion, I've been there. Karen finished her post by reminding us that with change, we grow. We know that. The right side of our brain knows that. The left side of our brain continues to fight with us. My writing changes every time my editor asks for a redo. And trust me, as readers, you want those changes. I'm a better writer every single edit. So we change and we grow. Those of you who follow me know that I am a passionate advocate for words of loving kindness. Walk the walk, I like to say, walk the words of loving kindness. I truly believe that our words of loving kindness are going to be able to change the discourse, change the dialogue, allow us to move past feel-good moments to changes in the broader community. And that's not to discount the feel-good moments. We all need feel-good moments. But I think that we can help have bigger, harder conversations by making the small, positive changes with our words and our actions now. Our words can help us navigate the smaller moments, can help us deal with the challenges that are coming with the bigger moments. How do we do that? How do we do that? As you all know, we start with words of loving kindness for ourselves. You know, we have to work on that internal dialogue, don't we, Candy? We are beautifully and wonderfully made. And if we don't remind ourselves of that, you know, we can't show up our best and our finest. And if Brenda Reese were here, she would remind us that part of showing up for ourselves may be forgiveness for ourselves. Life does not always unfold exactly as planned. And we've got to be ready with the grace for ourselves that we're often able to share with others, but, you know, leave ourselves off the list. We also have the ability and the platform that Karen has created to share words of loving kindness with each other as part of the Fave community. And those words of loving kindness show up, you know, in many ways. Teresa, there is not a picture that you have posted that I wouldn't move in tomorrow. You know, some of your kitchens are absolutely beautiful. I don't cook. I don't like to cook. Don't want to go to the grocery store, but I would move into those kitchens. I mean, they're beautiful, and they give us joy and light in our day. Our stories matter. Candy, you know, I got to share your story on the purple couch. Our stories matter. Our stories make a difference. Our stories connect us in important ways, and especially during a time when we can feel isolated, uncertain, fearful, when each day is unfolding in ways we're just not quite sure of, never expected. Our ability to connect with each other and the Fave community has just become more and more important. And you know, you've heard it said, and Danielle reminds us, the more we also engage with each other as experts, you know, it just boosts the Facebook algorithms to just help our message get further and further out there, show up more and more. And that's important because you have great stories, and we need them told, we need them retold, we need them shared. That's important. And our words of loving kindness also are important for the greater community. Danny, you talked, in your Facebook Live about being the light. We can be the light in so many beautiful ways. And so often it's just taking advantage of, bigger and smaller moments in the day. It might be nothing more than a wave, making eye contact with someone. It might be, we've all done it, sharing the coffee with the person behind us. I mean, just finding moments when we can bless those around us. I've shared this story before. My 3-year-old grandson loves the garbage truck. When the weather was inclement, he'd watch and wave at the garbage truck from the window. As soon as it got nice, he was on the curb waiting for the garbage truck. One day, the garbage man jumped out of the truck with a small garbage truck just for him. That little boy, to this day, hardly separates from his garbage truck. He loves his garbage truck. And the impact it had on so many of us, that small moment, really, it's garbage. But I have forever been a little whiny about garbage pickup days that still find garbage on my street after the can gets lifted into the truck. It's like, really? Why am I looking at trash on the street? Now I have to look at the garbage man and go, oh, are you the one that gave my grandson the garbage truck? It just changed my attitude just a little bit. 2 years ago, I was invited to Odessa. Woman found me on Facebook, contacted me and said, at some point in time, we think we might want you to come talk to us. But I could tell by her tone of voice, she really didn't. So, I'm kind of having this I'm crushed moment. And she went on to say, but what we'd really like is if you could come help us have a bigger conversation. Our community has changed in many ways. And as women, we would like to be a light. They were watching drug and alcohol addiction hit the streets. They were seeing poverty in ways they hadn't seen before, because if you can't make it in King County, sometimes you move east where it's a little more affordable. They were just seeing a lot of things that they hadn't seen before. Farming families, longtime farming families that were hanging on desperately to their farms. And she said, we want to be a light in dark places. And we had a chance to spend the afternoon together being open and honest about ways that we can do that. And I think about what we're able to do here at Fave. We get to be a light in what may be dark corners for some people, dark corners in our greater community. We may be giggling about lipstick one moment, and then also talking about change and being a light the next. That's part of life, those silly moments and those bigger moments and those wonderful opportunities to connect. And I continue to be blessed by you all for getting to be a part of this. So I thank you for what we get to do together and what we'll continue to do together. So Karen, thank you for allowing us all to be a part.
Yes, Deanna, thank you so much. As I see this group coming together and these experts, every single person here is a light, and you have a different hue to your light. But
yeah,
early on when I started this with Kim Peterson and I went live one time, And sometimes we think, oh, we have to touch all this huge group of people. But a woman came on after Kim had spoken and said, this really touched my heart. And I'm crying and I needed to hear this. And I keep reminding myself of that because it's like one woman at a time. If we can touch somebody that just needs either some inspiration or some support or whatever it is, or just those words, like those words of loving kindness, that they know we're here. And that's one of the things too, as we go forward, why I want the women to know you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of magazines out there that is, they have articles and photos and whatever, but they don't get to know the person. I want people to know you. And that's why we are, having a space for you to go live. And we'll, Teresa and Kim, I'm not sure if you heard, and I'm sorry, I have no video today. It's not working. But we're going to have, Danielle's going to set up a exclusive group for our experts. And in that group, you'll find the resources, the trainings, what's happening, because we do have some new things coming up with to help promote you and help, just help spread your word, if you will. So we'll have all that in one space for you, and like all the SEO training, the Pinterest, when are the due dates and all that type of thing. So you have one space to go to, and for all of you to connect as well. So. Yeah, so thank you, ladies. Teresa.
Hey, let Teresa introduce herself.
Yes.
Now that she's,
Yeah,
that
Teresa,
she's
go
here.
ahead. How are you?
I'm good. I'm kind of late to the party here.
No worries. Glad you're here.
You're never late.
Never late. Yeah. Well, in this little short time I've been with you, I've got some good key words that I liked out of everything you said. And I am Teresa Barthol. I'm with the eXp Realty, and my branding on my company is Lifestyles to Live. And I do think that, there are stories in real estate to tell, and there are stories about real estate agents to tell also. I just listened to Barbara Corcoran get on the TV and talk about, the transformation of houses and how you should prepare them for the next, buyer and all of that. And, everything is kind of getting graded down and everything looks, just amazing. But what the people behind these transactions are what's really important to me. And the kitchens I sit in and the time I spend with them. And what Barbara had to say too is, you need to look for the real estate agents that are the top 20%, those fast and furious runners. But I'm a top agent in my profession. I've been doing it for 22 years. And yes, that's important. But more important to me in the next 5 years of what I'm doing, as I exit my profession, I want to serve the people and not the house. So
Teresa, imagine the stories you've told, because you're so often with people during times of transition. They're downsizing. Maybe somebody died. Maybe they've had a baby and now it's the forever home. Think of all those moments that you get to be a part of.
Well, I could tell you a quick little story about the most recent one. I have a client that I've known for some 8 to 10 years. They've never bought a house from me. They've rented always. Kind of interesting. Wife now has Parkinson's, very sick with Parkinson's. Husband is 80 and has heart issues. And he's been looking for a long time. He's very confused about what he needs to do next, but he has to do something, and he does not like change. So I showed him a house the other night, and he goes, nobody's listening to me. I have no one to talk to about all the stuff that's going on in my life. I really want to run and go back to Turkey where I came from, and what should I do, Teresa? So it really was,
Wow.
I had to say, this is what you should do. This is what I want you to do. But it's your choice, of course. And so he did do what I asked and what I think is the best for them in the thing. But at the end of it, he said, could you give me a hug? So starved, these seniors, for a hug or for somebody to understand what they're going through. So if I work really hard to be at the top 20% of my game, I don't have time to be there in that moment. So that's what I want to be different about
Oh,
in these next years. So yes, the stories are important, I think.
Teresa, and that is a beautiful story. I am sure I am probably one of them that is, I'm starving for hugs.
And I kind of went like, oh, should I? Well, of course I should. I mean, I can't not give
Yeah.
the poor 80-year-old man a hug,
Yeah.
So Karen, Danielle, and I had a socially distant little dinner last night. And then as we leave, we're masked up and I'm hugging everyone. And I went, oh my gosh. Yeah,
Oh, it's much needed.
just had a moment where I just, and I meant to apologize afterwards.
No. Yes, well, so many stories. And I think, that is just going to be something really special as we go forward and we all get to know each other, to learn each other's stories too. Because that way we can talk about each other. Because I was at a social distance with a friend the other night as I was here in town, and she was asking about forgiveness. And she goes, what is that woman who does that forgiveness?
Who is that one?
Oh, Brenda. Just tell me about her. And I know enough, and that's the thing too. So when people ask me, I know enough about each of you because I know you all personally, that I can talk about you and recommend you as a person. And I think that's really special, and I hope to keep that as we grow, that I get to know each of you and what are your strengths and how you shine and how you can help the woman that comes and asks me, because I have built a trust. And so they trust me to recommend somebody like you. So
We
ladies,
trust you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. You've just made my day with all your shiny faces and your beautiful smiles. And I just appreciate you all so much, and looking forward to our next little meetings. And there'll be all kinds of fun things coming out. So be looking for that, and I'll keep you all posted.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Karen.
Yeah. So have a great Saturday.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you
this
so
was
much.
This was recorded, right? So I can
This is
listen to
recorded.
the
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so
I'll
much.
send it out. Yeah.
Have a great day, you guys.
Okay.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
Kim.
everyone.
See ya. See ya.
Bye.